I guess that just has to be a part of it. Anyway, in the top right side, there's a red Brodos player. We saw him before, cracking some skulls. Will he be able to do it again? The dragon, the phoenix, the gamer. It is Hero. Bottom left side, the other dragon, phoenix gamer man. Going for a spawning pool first. What a lad. Will it pan out for this man? The blue Zerg, Rogue. Oh, it's okay. Ooh, it's exciting times here. That spawning pool being built. Could make this a quick one. That might be nice for the other two casters coming up after me. Hoping to start in a little bit with those GSL qualifiers. You know what? Let's. I think both players agree. It's been long enough today. Yes. I'm not sure who's going to be favored here. You know what? I'm just going to sit back, kick back, just yell at a bunch of Zerglings dying or Zealots dying. Who knows? That's the second hatch. And, you know, has anyone done any scouting just quite yet? No. No, of course not. Why would you? Why would you ever do scouting? Come on. We know what's happening. They're cloud readers as well. Like the days of old, right? Where people look at clouds and they figure out what's going to happen in the future. Oh. Oh, this could be bad. This could be really bad. That's really bad. That is really, really bad. Alright. At least we got an adept building on the other side of the map. It could be no, actually, that is on this side of the map. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh. Oh. Oh, my dear lord. Oh, I had to throw up a little bit on the inside of my mouth. Jeez. Oh, my. Oh, it's so much worse than it looks. It's even so much worse than it looks, and it looks despicable. Oh my... Ah! Oh. Alright, well, that's an adept. Let's see what this does. Do we have a queen? We have one queen. Yeah, and she's not paying attention. She's just like, yeah, whatever. We should have this now. I'm no longer concerned. Right, no, that was solid stuff there for Rogue. What an opening. I'm surprised Hero is still in this game, in all honesty. He does have two adepts. And it's, well, Rogue did go for a lot of Zerglings at the start. Doesn't seem to be that much of an influence here for the time being. More probes being pulled off the line as well. So, you know, you're thinking like, well, at least Hero's getting some value in return. Rogue just strikes back right away. Finds that value just as well on the other side of the map. So, yeah. Alright, there it is. GG! No spawning pool first, no proxy gateways, nothing of the sorts, nothing scary, nothing dangerous just quite yet, just a good old game of macro. At least to somewhat kick it off with. Still can vary quite rapidly here, but you know, the true insanity that we had witnessed in the previous game, not going to occur this time. Right. Okay. Does anyone have any predictions for this? Because I think Rogue might just take it, right? Seeing Rogue just now against Beyond? Oof. It's a whole different matchup, though, to be fair, but still. Who did Rogue lose to last time? It was a Protoss, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Let me look back, actually. In this tournament, Rogue lost... Oh, he lost to Gumiho. Alright, that's not Protoss. No, he was in the same group as Hero, but they never met each other in that group. It's the first time in this tournament these two meet each other. Nothing to look back to. Remember that game though, or that series versus Gumiho. That was a pretty cool one. Gumiho getting out on top with a little bit of luck here and there, but you know what? It worked out in his favor. I remember there being a proxy 3 Rex where there were drones pulled against it, and then suddenly he was just with his drones outside, very far out. Like, I think it was even on this map. Like, his drones were over here. Here was a bunker with Marines all of a sudden, and he was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I just can never return to mining with anything. Yeah, and that's a quick way to die. That's a quick way to die. A nasty one. Oh, that's just beautiful. You see all those links running at all those places at the same time? That's gorgeous. How did he do that so quickly? How did he spread his circlings out that perfectly that quick? I guess he's just going to have them run from here, perhaps. That might be the case. So they all have the same track for a little while. Alright, so, Twilight Council, Robotics Facility. Void Ray. Gets a Creep Tumor. No. Take the small victories. And the big victory will come. Out of Rogue, we're seeing the Roach Warren so far, and the Lair attack also coming up. The Evil Zerg Lair. Which is, in a way, a little bit of a shame that there's a building called the Lair, because, you know, I would have liked to call it just ambiguously the Lair of the Zerg, right? Like the castle of the Zerg, or the fortress, the Zerg fortress on this side of the map. But the Lair works because they're animals. I guess that's why they picked it for a name as a building. Yeah. Imagine if a lair was called a castle. A castle. Oh, how silly it would be. This is interesting. I shouldn't get too much here, right? I know there's only 3 gateway units, but the amount of times I thought, you know what, I have enough Zerglings, and I attack positions like that. I mean, it never works out. It just never does. You have so little DPS with so few Zerglings getting surface area, it's just not worth it. But he comes in again. One more time. There's a shield battery there now. Even more trouble. Sees this attack coming in though. A lot of sentries together with a lot of stalkers. Blink upgrade about to be ready together with the +1 weapons. He wants to try and take out the 4th base, right, with this attack. Or is it a 3rd base? Well, I guess there's no 4th base, so he's going to go for the natural base. Isn't this bush meant to kill the 4th base? The 4th base only now being put up over here, so maybe Rogue realizing this would be coming and just waiting to see where this attack is going to before he puts down his 4th base? Huh. Well, he made a lot of roaches. Should be safe against this, right? With the Ravagers, the Queens, everything. Looks pretty secure. He's losing some creep tumors, so I mean, Hero's getting whatever he can out of this bunch of units he's got available right now. He's forcing an enormous amount of army supply out of Rogue as well, so Even if he doesn't kill a base here, it's still kind of working for him, right? And he might still force the cancel on this fourth base. Yeah, not looking likely. This is starting to look rough. Queens off-creep some of them. Ooh, Biles don't get the War Prism, so it's still around. And the Stalkers, yeah, they're gonna get bullied away out of this location, are they? There's not that many Roaches remaining, actually. Not that many Zerglings in particular, either. Really, the Zergling's the one you want to use in this, these scenarios. Versus the Stalkers. But Rogue's still committed to the Roaches for the time being. It's going for the +1 missile attacks after all. The Stalkers trade efficiently against the Roach Ravager. There's no more shield or sentries here either, so there's no like force fields to target down for him. He's just going full Roach here. He's still Ravager. I'm not sure if that's the right choice though. Now putting in more Zerglings, 16. More Stalkers coming in. Okay, just gotta keep dodging those Biles. Really want to look at the units lost tab here in a moment, because I think it's gonna be quite heavily in favor for Hero. Let's quickly take a look. Yeah, about 2,000 extra minerals lost to the full Rogue. That's pretty dramatic. And I mean, he's still building more army units, right? It's been so long since we've been talking about he's not going to be able to build drones. I don't think he's built a single drone ever since that time. And now, look at this. He's just getting overwhelmed. He has nowhere near the units he needs. Zergling's now coming in. It might be too little too late. Look at how well those Zerglings are doing here. Well, he doesn't have enough anymore, clearly, but... Man, that's rough. Alright, Hero ties up the show, I would say. Gets the 4th base. Well, let's not count Rogue out of it yet. He hasn't left the game, he might be able to pull something off. But that's a big army of Stalkers. Now, I do have Blink, there's a War Prism there. I mean, he has so many tools. Doesn't have an Observer with him, so won't be able to snipe Creep Tumors. Kind of lets the Bile land. Ooh, kills his own Stalker there accidentally. So moving forwards, smelling the blood. This is all he has to do, right? He doesn't have to commit to the attack. He just kind of has to keep poking, keep pulling away, keep utilizing that Blink micro. And Rogue's gonna run dry pretty soon. So there's this critical mass where you can just blink right on top of everything. Oh, there we go, this blink forward. A lot of Bile still kind of connecting, but I don't think there's enough Zerg here to withstand the Stalker army. Good blinks forwards once again. We'll be able to start picking this. Well, actually. Nah, he still has enough. GG. GG. Started to thin out a little bit, but nowhere near enough to really get anything rolling for Rogue. So, Hero ties up the show. Okay, different spawn locations this time around. Hero in the bottom right side from the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. As in the top left side, there's the Mr. Rogue from the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Two teammates meeting in the finals. Looking pretty good for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. They've always been a severe threat in all of those team leagues after all, of course. One of the favorites to overall win the entire thing. They won't have Zest anymore, of course, pretty soon. But you know what? Hero looking like a pretty solid place right now. Taking a pretty solid game off of Rogue right there. I'm still not entirely certain why Rogue felt that committed onto the Roach Ravagers. I know he was getting the +1 missile attacks, but is that really that important to then just stick to the Roaches? I don't know. be fair, if more sentries were warped in, right, as a response from Hero, because it's not like Hero would have just kept warping in Stalkers either, right, if there was a big influx of Zerglings. We'll just have to see what happens on this map, really. Again, nothing being proxied really has been hammered out of the two after that game number 1 being what it was. Twilight Council for Hero. Overall, that kind of was the first real game between the two, right, that we saw. And game number 1, for whatever it was, not really a victory you can, well, be incredibly. I don't want to say you can't be proud of it, because, you know, you still won a game, and if it works, right? If you win the game, it was the right strategy. But it was a little bit of a gamble there for Rogue. Right? It's one of those where it's just like, well, it just really worked out for him. It wasn't great control. It wasn't like a massive 2000 IQ move. It was just a good calculated gamble, working out into his favor. Talking about calculated gambles, one that we don't see all too often anymore from the Protoss race. Well, it's kind of coming back now and again. But yeah, the glaives. The glaives are being researched. This Overlord here is still having quite a bit of vision. Seeing a lot of adapts being made. Maybe the Overlord still anticipating the company of a warm Void Race embrace at some point in time. It is just sitting there, so it's not going to be able to get a good eye on this. And then again, how many gateways do we have? We have 4 gateways. Not really a good way for Hero to warp anything in aggressively. There's no robo. There's no proxy pylons anywhere. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to get too committed with this. But it's still a pretty solid size of units here. Let's see what kind of structures we have. We've got the Roach Warren available. We got a reasonable amount of Zerglings. We're already on 74 workers for Rogue. I think that's an okay amount for him to be on at this point in time. Let's see if I'm wrong, because that is a scary amount of adepts, isn't it? We'll be able to target down 2 queens right off the bat. Those drones need to start evacuating right now. Any which way they can go to safety. These adepts once again cancel their shade. Now on top of a roach, able to pick that off as well. The more roaches you're able to pick off one by one, the better, of course. More adepts joining in right in time to help out against those Zerglings right there. Another cancel of the shade, trying to keep everything together. Trying to make the third base the main target here. Is going to be committed onto once again by Rogue. Those Zerglings trying their best here, but they're dying off quick. Adept Shade most likely going to be completed here. There it goes into the natural base right now, trying to find the angles it can. Trying to keep its distance from the Queen as well as the Roach Frontier here. Only 2 workers so far have been killed off. That's not a lot, is it? But there we go. There's the numbers now skyrocketing as soon as those adepts have just a few mere seconds in the mineral line. That is when you start taking an enormous amount of damage. More adepts over here. The Stalker in the third base. Hero absolutely shredding the defense of Rogue right now. He is just burning on through. GG is called. Rogue. That was a big struggle for him. I don't think he was anticipating the adepts at all. Yet still had something there to try and make it happen. Couldn't quite pull the rabbit out of the hat, and GG. Once more, no spawning pool first here for Rogue. Worked out really well for him that first game. Maybe that's why he's like, you know what? I don't think that's going to work twice in a best of 5. He's the king of best of longest series, though, so we'll trust his instincts, and, well, we'll still assume that he's got a good shot of making this work. The 2 games that he did lose, they, you know, felt like a little bit of a misread and maybe a misplay a little bit in that game number 2. I'm still, like, thinking to myself, like, why did he go for that many roaches? Maybe he just wasn't anticipating the Stalker numbers to be growing that quickly. To be fighting up against that many Stalker units, right? That kind of felt like it to me. So why in the world would you make just pure Roach Ravagers there otherwise, right? Unless if your plan is to wipe that attack out pretty convincingly and then still be left with a good amount of Roach Ravagers for the later part of the game. Pretty calm setup so far. Stargate from Hero, regular stuff. Kind of the first time we're seeing this roll down the track of the normal beaten down path of the PvZ matchup. Right, the one that I've grown quite accustomed to. Avoid Ray and with the Stargate follow-up. Or, well, the Stargate opening, I should say. Overlord this time around. Gonna take a look inside of the base as well. I'm just gonna make assumptions here. Very good call. Would have been able to help him out quite a bit, of course, having that Overlord see the Twilight Council beforehand the previous time. It's gonna take him a second, but there we go, okay. Fully aware now, of course. There it is, the warm embrace of the Void Ray. He was missing out on the previous game. Right, so Hero's plan just kind of growing up in the size here. Wants to grab the 3rd base, another Stargate behind this. This is, you know, light Oracle harassment. Hoping to slow down the Zerg. Hoping to keep an eye out on him as well this way, of course. Ooh, Phoenix afterwards. Interesting. I wonder how many Phoenix he's going to go for. I hope for him it's not just a misclick here. No, it definitely doesn't seem to be the case. There's not a Phoenix. Alright, yeah, I'm down for this, man. I love the Phoenix. Don't see it enough in the PvZs anymore, as the Void Ray just, you know, coming in. Maybe the Void Ray changes, making this happen a little bit. The real way of the Roti. So he would be getting +1 attack as well right now for his Phoenix. Wait, would he be? I don't know his build orders really that well, guys. I just know that he gets it at some point. And the sooner the better, usually, for him, I would say. Now, are we going to stick onto 3 bases? And are we going to see this flock of Phoenix just kind of bulk up for how much longer? From Rogue, we're having... Okay, that is a Spire under construction right now. Could help him out, make a couple of Corruptors there. I'm just hoping for his sake he's not planning to make a big swath of Mutalisk right now. Before he sees that it is in fact a big mass of Phoenix being produced right here. I mean, in all likelihood, if he doesn't see the Phoenix before that Spire finishes, he will make a boatload of Mutalisk. Luckily for him, the Phoenix have gathered up enough. It looks like that hero is willing to come across the map here and start really putting on the hurt on his opponent, trying to get all those queens, but that is just too much health for them to chop through. Now on top of the drones here, getting only 3 of them, but all the gas guys are drones, so always a little bit more annoying for someone to reorganize all of that. There we go, there's some real drone killings happening right now. 2 more drones in the sky, could target those down. Losing a fair amount of Phoenix though as well, it looks like. Only 3. Okay, I thought that was more for a second. 3 Phoenix with the 10 worker kills. I don't think he's really got the queens just quite yet. Could start picking those off as well. 10 Corruptors in production, guys. 10. That is rough. That's the follow-up for this. The Colossi usually, right? I'm assuming this will be Colossi. At this stage in the game, I'm hoping it will be Disruptors actually, for his sake. Because those Corruptors, man, that's not gonna be a great opponent for a hero to fight against with Colossi Phoenix. New base for Rogue right there, getting set up. There's the Corruptors. Sees the quantity of them now. A little bit terrifying. Oh, gobbledygook on top of the Robo from the Overseer. Don't see those things happen enough, do we? The infectious spray coming out from the Overseer. Real way for the Phoenix to travel safely through. I mean, you get an Overlord, get an alright scout there as well, I suppose, but that's about it. And there is a Disruptor on the field right now. I think that's the choice. I think that is the choice. Seeing a Corruptor Queen army, right? Those Queens are always going to have a rough time against your Disruptors due to their size. Disruptors are going to be useless against this mostly ground army now that you've transitioned into. They're still going to be able to deal with the Phoenix pretty easily, but with 3 Archons kind of protecting their path, it becomes a lot more difficult to just kind of jump on top of them. Nice zoning with those Archons, keeping the War Prism safe as well. There's a lot of Mutalisk now on the field. That could make this a lot more difficult though for Hero to make happen. Needs to keep his Phoenix now alive in order to deal with the Mutalisk. Alright, here we go. The Archons kind of getting chopped down at the back. Those Phoenix finding a good opportunity to magic box them. On the other side of the camera, I suppose. The Zealots. That's a big wall of Spine Crawlers. That is a massive wall of Spine Crawlers. A lot of the drones are still going down, as Zealots are absolutely on all of these hatcheries. Another Disruptor. Hello. I could have killed a lot of drones there, actually. That could have. But, alright. 2 bases down. 25 drones. That's solid stuff. That is solid stuff. A little bit of a scary thing having this amount of Mutalisk though still out and about on the field. That could cause a lot of trouble here for a player that doesn't have that much anti-air anymore. Trying to scrape up as much as he can here. Stalkers together with the Archons are going to provide a little bit of an extra safety net. But it doesn't look like it's going to be all too big. Shield battery overcharged, buys a bit more time. As well, so counter-attack of Zealots. Once again, chopping down. Bringing the side blades onto the face of the drones. Gets 3 of them. 4. Okay, well, it's something. He's lost tab quite heavily favoring Rogue right now. But his economy has been slowed down enough to where maybe if Hero finds a good trade against those Mutalisks, if he finds more ways to just delay Rogue from having these 4 bases, then maybe. But, oh man, those Spine Crawlers are there. The Mutalisk now as well. They might be able to just pick off this entire army right now. That is so many Mutalisk. That is gonna, well, It's going to be a heartbreaking moment here for Hero where we may see GG. Yeah, GG is called, and that gives Rogue the 2-2. Alright, there he is. Top left side. One more time, the Blue Zerg. Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Rogue. For the right side. Already sending one pro... Okay. Thought he was sending 2 probes across the map. It is the red Protoss player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers as well. Hero. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. A nice match to conclude it all on. For me, at least. For this little tournament right here. Getting the final best of 5 to go into match number 5. It's always a nice thing. It always feels like, alright, we got 2 very strong players here in the finals. And it's just not one of them, you know? One player just stampeding over the other one. Always a little bit of a letdown, but definitely both of these players fighting for their lives here. Giving it their all. The games have been weird. They've been awkward. They've been sudden ends. There's been a couple of ones where it's like, well, I guess he's gonna die soon, but it's gonna take a while. Valiant efforts for the comebacks. But there's only one chance left here. Make this game yours, and so it's a good chunk of extra cash. Little probikins. Making life difficult once again for the minus of the Zerg. It is a Twilight Council, oh my. In the back of my mind, I was kind of going through, like, what are the options here for Hero? He's shown us so much right now. He's shown us proxies, he's shown us the Stargate opening, the Twilight Council, the Blinkstalker push for the 4th base, the Phoenixes. I mean, there does seem to be quite a lot of pathways and avenues that Hero is trying to take, and mixing them up well enough to make things difficult for Rogue. Oh boy, Rogue. He's got plans of his own. The man, the myth, the legend. He's building a Roach Warren. Is this how he's gonna tie off the ends of this game? Oh, that's a Dark Shrine. Alright, well, guys, what's gonna happen next? What in the world is gonna happen between these two? There's going to be quite a clash. All those roaches are going to be running across the map. The Overlord... Is the Overlord going to see the Dark Shrine? That would be a big deal. That would be a big... It's not. It's running away. Okay. Alright. So, how far removed are we from these Dark Templars, you ask? It's about halfway done right now, that Dark Shrine. It should be about ready when those roaches arrive, right? Is my in-brain clock about right about this? We'll see. It's going to be close, regardless. He's not going to have a lot of time here before Dark Templars are on top of his units. There he is, arriving right now. Let's see if the wall of Protoss can hold here. The shield battery overcharge, providing once again a valuable asset. Dark Shrine getting closer and closer to completion. It's about 10, 4, 5, 3, 1. There it is. Okay, it's completed. Dark Templar, pluck the wall, Dark Templar. Get in there, there we go, and now trouble is brewing for the Zerg. Has to try and bile down the Dark Templar somehow, some way, otherwise this is just going to be a lot of trouble. Okay, no, does get the gateway, runs in. We have enough money for another Dark Templar. Okay, that's a lot of probes going down. That is a lot of probes going down. Rogue might just still pull this off. Might just be able to just break him here. He's gonna get a Nexus. This is a very committed attack though. He's only now starting up drone production again. He's still behind on workers after killing 9 of them. But killing that Nexus definitely helps out a ton. He's gonna lose all of these units most likely still. Well, is he? There's a hole in the wall. There's a hole in the wall. Come on, little probe, run. He's trying to block them in. Doesn't want to let them escape here. But they will. Those sneaky little buggers. Always buttered up. Buttered up in the gooey Zerg jello. Slipping through the zealots. It's just what they do. They can't help themselves, guys. They can't help themselves. Alright, now, this is a peculiar situation for Hero. He's lost his main base. He's still got himself quite a bit of tech available, of course, but I mean, Rogue is aware of every single bit of technology available for Hero, so it kind of comes down to a cat and mouse game. Hero's still gonna try to make something happen here. He's got 2 Immortals in a Warp Prism. I think they be Archons, as we had a Dark Templar opening, but no, they are in fact Immortals. Immortals here. Ooh, the drones not getting picked up just quite yet. Does get the Spore Crawler. That's pretty nice. That is going to make it a bit easier for Dark Templars to potentially do something. Ooh, getting the Extractor is pretty good as well, as there is a Spire on the way. That can be a big deal. I can slow down Mutalisk quite a bit and buy more time for Hero there. And again, Hero, let's take a look at the income graph. You know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Had a good chunk of extra mining there for the Protoss before it went into the Zerg favor. And I don't think it's too far apart right now. It's a little bit apart. It's not too far apart. We can see it over here, right? It's pretty darn close. Overseer comes in, double check. Hey, what you doing, buddy? What's happening over here? Trying to utilize that terrain, make it difficult for the Roach Zergling army to follow the Warp Prism around. All units, once again, coming across the map, all in eyes of that changeling there, though. So Rogue knows that he has to build some extra units quite quickly. We're seeing those Roaches almost ready already. 5 Mutalisk in this production line as well. Not sure if those are the units we're going to be seeing winning this fight right now, but it might be important. Getting that Warp Prism, for example, that could be a big deal here. If they manage to get around, get on top of that Warp Prism, you've got to be careful of the Stalkers and Archons, still a lot of damage. Okay, he's gonna go full counter attack with the Mutalisk. Fair enough, fair enough. Feels comfortable that he has enough at home, and the recall actually being forced there now. 2 gateway units still left on the other side. Nothing to worry about. Nothing too bad. 3rd base for Rogue, only now starting mining here. There's no 3rd base plans just quite yet really visible for Hero. It's been a while since he's taken his main base after all. Comes in again. This could be a final attempt to break him. We're not seeing probes being produced. We're not seeing a lot else being produced. There's just going to be another big warp in here, most likely. As soon as he has the time. Oh, that Archon actually died. I can't believe it. Couldn't get that with the Warp Prism in time. Mutalisk still on the other side of the map. Gonna try to go for the probes here. Still think they could be used quite nicely to try and get the Warp Prism. The Disruptor doesn't get anything. There's still a lot of Stalkers here, though, with the Zealots. The Immortals doing absolutely an ungodly amount of damage onto the Roaches right now. A lot of drones are going to go down. They are nibbling at the feet of the Stalkers, though. Here we go. There's finally the Mutalisk on top of that Warp Prism, but they couldn't get it down before another warp in of Stalkers occurs. And GG has to be called. Hero takes game number 5, will be our champion here of the Ultimate Showdown. Congratulations, Mr. Hero.